Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be doing an eyebrow tutorial. I've had a couple of requests to do this, so thought I'd get it done for you today. And also I'm thinking of starting a series on my channel where I'm going to upload twice a week, and on Thursdays that'll be a full-blown tutorial. And then on Sundays, I'm thinking about doing like specific routines. So my eyebrow routine, my foundation routine, or certain eye looks, just my eyes, or a wing liner tutorial, stuff like that. So things that are going to be quick and easy, or just a quick little video to watch. That way you're not waiting a whole week to see a new video from me. If you do think it's a good idea, then go ahead and give the video a thumbs up, and also subscribe if you haven't already so you don't miss out on any more videos. And let's get started on this eyebrow routine. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to show you all the products I use to do my eyebrows. And the first thing I use is this OFRA Universal Eye Pencil. I know mine's little and tiny, it's been used to death, but I need to go grab a new one, and I'm not around a Sephora or an Ulta, and I don't like to buy these products online because I don't know what color I'm going to need. And this one's just universal, and I got it in an Ipsy bag, so I've been using it, but I like it. And then also I use my Maybelline Fit Me Concealer, and this is in the shade Sand. And then the three brushes that I use are, this is a crown brush, and I'm not sure what it's called. Hopefully I can find it somewhere online, and I will link it down below, but I also got this in an Ipsy bag. And then this is a fine angle INSPR brush, INSPR. I don't know if that's, abbreviated or anything like that, but this is the angled brush that I use. It's really, really, really tiny, and I love it. I actually use this for wing liner if I need to do a gel liner or use some other kind of product, but most of the time I just use it for my eyebrows. And then the last thing I use is this concealer brush from Real Techniques. It's just the Real Techniques concealer brush, and it comes in a pack, or like a little mini collection. So I'm not sure if you can buy this one by itself, but that's what I use. You don't really need these three brushes in general, but just brushes that are like that. And the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and spoolie and brush my eyebrow hairs, and I'm going to brush them upward because I am going to draw a line underneath my brows first. And you want to make sure that your pencil is nice and sharp. And then we're going to very, very lightly draw a line underneath them. Very lightly, like barely touching the skin. And I start all the way at the tip of my brow, or the front of my brow, and I'm going to go all the way to the end of my brow. And then that's that. Next we're going to brush our eyebrow hair down, and we're going to draw a line on the top of our brow, just so that we have the desired shape that we want, and we kind of have a guide. But again, very, very lightly touching the skin. Okay, so that's what your eyebrow should look like. And I'm going to do this side very quickly. Okay, and that's what our eyebrows look like so far. Okay, next I'm going to start at the tail of my brow, and I'm going to start filling it in. And I place my pinky on my cheek just to anchor my hand so that my hand has a little bit more control, especially since my pencil is much smaller than normal. And I'm very lightly, again, barely touching my skin, doing short hair-like strokes. And I'm just going to build this up until it is as dark as I want it to be. And I have a really big sparse area right here on both of my eyebrows, so I try to focus a lot of product right there just to match the rest of my eyebrow. And we're gonna make our way to the front of the eyebrow. Leave this portion, the very, very front of your eyebrow, blank just for now, so that I'll show you what to do with that later. So we're just filling them in. Okay, next, when I get it to a point that I think is pretty good, I'm going to start to spoolie them out so that they are nice and blended and we don't have any harsh lines and they don't look unnatural, so on and so forth. And again, doing this very lightly with a very light touch. And I'm going to go back and see if there are any more sparse areas that I may have missed and fill them in. Or darken areas that I think that needs darkening. And then again, spoolie, 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 blend, blend, blend. And I'm going to do my other eyebrow. Okay, next we're going to fill in the front portion of our eyebrows, and with a very, very, very lighter than we used with the lines, we're going to use a very light touch, and we're going to do small strokes upward, barely touching the skin. This is going to give the illusion of brow hairs, which I don't have a lot of brow hairs in the front of my eyebrows, so this is a good thing for me. This is a good step for me. But anyways, we're going to very lightly just stroke little lines upward to make the illusion of brow hairs. And then again, we're going to split it out. Next, I'm going to take this brush, this angled brush that we mentioned in the beginning of the video, and I'm going to take a dark, and I know I didn't mention this earlier, but you can take a brow powder or you can take a dark eyeshadow, depending on what your hair color is, or a shadow that's close to your hair color, and we're going to fill in any sparse areas or make our eyebrows thicker, whichever one you like. Sometimes I will leave my eyebrows like this and I'll just carve them out, and this will be a more natural look for me, but sometimes I do like them more thick. Like lately I've been liking my eyebrows to look a little bit fuller and thicker, so I have been filling them in with powder, but this step is not necessary at all. I'm going to take this dark brown right here, and you're going to take like a shade that's like 2 shades lighter than your hair color. That's why I'm taking a brown and not a black, because a black will be too harsh. And we're going to just fill in a couple of areas. So again, like I was saying, the tail of my brow right here in this area, that is a lot more sparse than the rest of my brows, so I like to focus most of my powder right there. And also this kind of just sets your pencil so that your eyebrow pencil or whatever product you're using doesn't move. And also, I like to do my eyebrows before I do anything else on my face, before my foundation or any of the rest of my makeup, because if you put your foundation underneath your brows are more likely to slide around because your foundation slides around during the day. So that's just a quick little tip on as to why I do my eyebrows first. And don't worry, I don't know if you just heard that, that was my air conditioning coming on. My vent is like right above me and it's closed, so it was pretty loud. But don't worry about any mistakes that you make, because we're going to carve them out. So don't worry if you're drawing outside of the lines or anything like that, or they look messy, because they're going to at first. I mean, some people have a really good hand and can just draw them on or color them in or whatever you want to call it, and be fine and not have to carve them out. It does make them look more natural, but I like my eyebrows to look clean and look like they just got done, and so I carve them out. So we're gonna start at the very front of our brow. Oh, I'm sorry, but I put some product, some concealer on my brush, my concealer brush, and what I do is I just touch this part of the wand that barely has any product on it. I don't like touch the doe foot applicator or anything like that, so I don't have a ton of product. So I just have a very small amount of product on my brush. Very small. And what we're going to do is we're going to start at the very front corner of our brow, and we're going to go all the way across, but we're going to try to keep that concealer pretty close to the brow, and not let it get all over the lid. If it does get on the lid, it's fine, you blend it out. And if you use concealer as a primer, then so be it, you know, it'll be fine. But anyways, we're just going to start at the corner of our brow, and we're going to go all the way across, very lightly. Okay, and now we're just going to drag that concealer down and blend it out. And I'm just going to blend that further with my finger. Okay, and then you can already see how it lifts the eyebrow as opposed to this eyebrow. And it looks so much better already. And now I'm just going to carve out my other eyebrow, and then we will get back to the tutorial. Alright, now back to this eyebrow. And then another thing that I want to tell you is that your eyebrows, or this is something that my friend told me when I was in high school, your eyebrows are sisters, not twins. Not twins. So, keep that in mind. Your eyebrows do not have to look identical. You don't even want them to look identical because it just kind of throws your face off. So it's okay if they look slightly different, or one's more arched than the other, or one's just a tad bit thicker, whatever. And so now I'm going to just carve out my tail. I'm not going to carve out the inner half of my brow, I'm just going to do the outer half, which is just the tail. And that will keep them looking a little bit more natural than it would if we carve out the whole thing. So right here where my brow arches, that's how high I'm going to go. And I'm just going to blend it out. Blend out with my finger. And then when you put your foundation on, it's just going to cover that up, so you don't have to worry about that part being lighter than your foundation or anything like that. Also, if your eyebrows aren't done, like you have a few hairs hanging around, this is a good way to hide them so that you don't look like you have ungroomed brows. And then we're just going to blend that out again with our finger. And then I also don't put concealer right here to carve that part of my brow out because we don't want our brows to look too boxy. So naturally our brows, they just, you know, start growing hair right here, and they kind of go from lighter to darker, so that's how we want to keep them. We don't want this carved out because they're just going to look too unnatural. This is the final product of my brows. Alright, so that was it for this tutorial, or this short little tutorial. If you liked it, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And please subscribe if you haven't already. And also, if you think it's a good idea to start that series where I'm doing like quick tutorials on Sundays, then let me know in the comments or by liking this video, and I will see you in my next one. Thank you. Bye.